I hope it's like ripe also, because I have no idea how to pick ripe.
I have no idea.
I like smelled it in the store, like, it smells like cantaloupe, I guess it's good. Watch, it's gonna be like a fucking honeydew. Like that'll be my luck. It'll still work regardless, but it might be a honeydew. And we're just gonna start here. Oh, perfect, it's orange. Yay, it's cantaloupe.
Surprise.
Surprise, it's cantaloupe.
Recipe.
First recipe is summer tomato and cantaloupe salad.
The odds is gonna look like that when you're done.
I didn't get mint, so it's not gonna look quite like that. In hindsight, I feel like I should have bought cubed cantaloupe because I feel like it's gonna be a bitch to try and break that thing down. You can do the math and like put the bowl on and then just subtract it from your total, but it's easier to just press 0 and tear it out. So when you put the bowl on the scale and you just press this, here for the sake of trying it again. So there, we'll start at 0. So you put the bowl on there, press tear, and then it zeroes it out, so the bowl doesn't matter anymore. So we're looking for half a cup, I think, of the cucumbers. Yep, 52 grams, and the scale's already set to grams, so let's see where we're at with that many. Boom, close enough, that works. And one for me. So cucumbers in there. It says cherry tomatoes for the recipe. I use Campari tomatoes, so I think they taste better. You can mostly wing this. You don't have to like follow the exact recipe, but for the sake of putting the recipe on that and everything, we'll do one more. It's better to just measure it out. And it gives you a more accurate count of your macros. We're a little bit over, that's okay. Fruit and vegetables are not going to break the scale, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand why red onions have to be such a pain in the ass. I mean, like, never like look that great when you're doing them. I'll probably start crying while I cut this. It's fine. Something that I read just about food in general, I guess, is like looking for things that have a lot more color to them. So you think about like onions or white onions, yellow onions, red onions. Red onions have more antioxidants in them because they are more colorful. So it's better for you. Let's see how much this gives us. It says thinly sliced. I'm just gonna dice it, that's fine. Also, don't look at my knife cutting skills as any example of how you should cut things. Oh, we're over, that's all right. Again, onions are not gonna break the bank, people. So, got that there. And then we can tear it out to 0 again. Olive oil. And apple cider vinegar, perfect. So you can do these with measuring cups, but since we have the scale, we can just change the unit, since it's a liquid measurement, to milliliters. Grams and milliliters are actually like nearly identical, so you could just leave it on grams if you wanted to, but again, for the sake of being accurate, we'll do it that way. So 1 tablespoon, okay, so 15 milliliters of olive oil. All right, we'll leave it there because there's no way I'm gonna hit that 15 spot on. When you look at this here, so it's gonna be 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliters. That's pretty much the same across the board. So a tablespoon is 3 teaspoons, so we'd need 10 milliliters for 2 teaspoons. Get in there, guy. All right, a little over, that's all right. So salt and pepper to taste. That just means it's to your taste. So if you like it saltier, put more salt in. If you like it pepperier, put more pepper in. This is definitely not something that you want to like dump a bunch in right away, because or else it could like ruin it. And then you're starting again. And it looks so colorful and pretty. So this is, I don't know, this is a pretty standard combination here. Red onion, tomatoes, cucumbers. It's bright, it's acidic. It's got the apple cider vinegar and the olive oil in there, so you don't need to dress it with anything else. And you could eat this as is if you wanted to. But the fun part is that we're gonna add cantaloupe to it. So it's gonna make a really good, summer side dish. You can use it really however you want. I hope it's like ripe also, because I have no idea how to pick ripe. I
have no idea.
I like smelled it in the store, like, it smells like cantaloupe, I guess it's good. Watch, it's gonna be like a fucking honeydew. Like that'll be my luck. It'll still work regardless, but it might be a honeydew. And we're just gonna start here. Oh, perfect, it's orange. Yay, it's cantaloupe.
Surprise.
Surprise, it's cantaloupe. So, first thing is, I'm just gonna use this. It's all gonna go together anyway, so. So you can use a melon baller if you're fancy and you have one. I don't actually eat melon very often, so I don't have a melon baller. A spoon or cutting it up and cubing it. Oh my God, these spoons are so cute. What are these for? What do you use these for? They're so cute and tiny.
They're great for ice cream in a big cup.
Okay. My sister eats ice cream out of cups, actually. All right, so we're gonna put the cantaloupe in a separate bowl. So we'll turn the scale back on. Boom. Tear it out to 0. And for this, we want, it's like 520 grams. It's about 3 cups of cantaloupe. I don't know how much this is gonna give us. Cantaloupe has a lot of water in it, you can see, so it's gonna like weigh it down a lot more, which again is fine. And you can do this a lot prettier than I'm doing it if you want, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's all going on a fork and going in your mouth anyway. All right, I think this is it. Yeah, look at that, spot on. Sick, that never happens. All right, wash your hands. Next thing, I'm just gonna move this over here. The next thing we'll do, I'm gonna eat that, is do the salad dressing. I'm cooking in a Pyrex, I feel like 2 Shanes. All right, so 3 tablespoons of lime juice. I brought 2. So, little trick, push on the limes to make them juicier. I don't know if that actually works, but it seems to work okay. I should have brought my little juicer. Okay, so we're gonna change the units again to milliliters. And we want like, it says 45 milliliters. We'll see if that actually works out. If it doesn't, that's fine. It's just lime juice. Because maple syrup normally costs like $20 for a tiny thing. Okay, so we're gonna tear this again. And then we just need, since I didn't have enough lime juice, I think I'm just gonna go like 10 milliliters. It's the fun part about cooking is you can kind of just wing it. This isn't gonna make a huge difference. And actually the maple syrup is probably the most calorie dense thing in this entire recipe. So if you cut it a little bit, again, if you're trying to like save a couple of calories, that would be the way to do it. Yeah, a tablespoon olive oil, and I'm just gonna go 10 again since I was a little short. The olive oil too is a big calorie sucker. All right, there we go. So I'll take that there. Just whisk this a little bit. So all we're gonna do here is pour the dressing over our cantaloupe. Gives it some more flavor here. Just says mix it together. It's a really gross sound it's making. It's fine. And then you throw this guy on top. Now this, if I were doing it myself, I would have used the whole cantaloupe, the whole cucumber, all those tomatoes, the whole onion, and just made it like a huge fucking salad. But again, for the sake of following the recipe and making the macros as accurate as possible, this is gonna be the best way to do it, especially when you're just like learning how to create recipes and putting them into MyFitnessPal and eating better in general. you know, follow direction as much as possible first, and then once you get the hang of it, then you can wing it. So this is our beautiful summer cantaloupe salad. Oh shit. Tomato down. All right, cool. So let's talk about how to put this into MyFitnessPal as a recipe. All right, so for this, I found this recipe on Minimalist Baker. She's awesome. She does a lot of vegan, gluten-free, plant-based recipes. So if you're looking to add more veggies in your life, she's a good place to look. And she does desserts, sides, mains, whatever. So I stumbled upon this recipe last summer. So for putting a recipe into MyFitnessPal, the first thing you're gonna do, say you're on the home page here. Come on, guys. Okay, so you're on your home page. First thing you're gonna do is go over to food in the top margin here, and then you'll go to recipes. Slide it over to the right, and then you have your recipe importer. So what's really cool, so I actually already put this in my recipe box, but for MyFitnessPal, they did something where you could actually just import recipes from online, because let's be honest, that's where we get most of our recipes nowadays. Or you can add the recipe manually if you're doing it out of a cookbook or you're just winging it. Either of those are fine. So come over to your web page here, and you're just going to copy your URL and then drop it into your recipe importer box and press import recipe. So step 2, it's gonna have you confirm the ingredients of it. So it'll give you your title, summer tomato and cantaloupe salad. Again, if you're making your own recipe, you can title it whatever you want to. And then this is where you need to use a little bit of common sense. So with Minimalist Baker, she gives you both the gram servings and the cup sizes. So kind of just whatever you prefer to measure by. And for the sake of the way that I did it here with doing the grams and making it as accurate as possible, we're going to utilize that. So we're just going to delete the half cup and put in 52 grams here. And this says thinly sliced cucumber. You don't need it to say thinly sliced cucumber. That's just gonna confuse the software. So again, using common sense here, if they're like more recipe instructions versus actual measurements, you want to delete those. So we'll just delete all this stuff. So again, it says thinly sliced cherry tomatoes, delete that. 20 grams red onion here, it says thinly sliced again. 15 milliliters olive oil. This says olive or avocado oil. Again, just delete out the avocado oil. Obviously, if you use avocado oil, leave that, delete the olive. But again, making it as specific as possible. And again, it says like healthy pinch each, salt and pepper. You don't need to have that in your recipe. Again, it's gonna confuse MyFitnessPal. And it also doesn't have any really calories to it, so. Okay, so 45 milliliters lime juice, 15 milliliters maple syrup. And again, if you're doing this your own, if you're like importing your own recipe that you made up, you would do it the exact same way. It's just instead you're gonna go to add recipe ingredients manually, and then it'll take you through how to do that. So another 15 milliliters olive oil. And then yeah, this says 3 heaping cups cantaloupe. You don't want it to say that, it's gonna confuse it. So we'll go 520 grams. Cantaloupe. Cool, and then it's gonna tell you to mash ingredients, and it's going to bring you over here where you can mash your ingredients. So the first thing it's gonna tell you is how many servings it has. 4 servings, which is the same as the Minimalist Baker website, so that's all accurate. And cross-check these things too when you're adding stuff on here. About 124 calories per serving, 100% mashed ingredients. So now we scroll down and we look at our ingredients. So it says 52 grams cucumber. The note here is peeled. That's irrelevant, don't worry about that. Cherry tomatoes here, perfect. 20 grams of red onion, 15 milliliters olive oil. All of these look good. And it's gonna tell you like your calories, fat, carbs, protein at the bottom as well. And then the last thing you'll do, now you have two options here. You can save it and just save it as is, or you can save and log it. Obviously, if you're eating it currently, we're just gonna save it. And then we're gonna come over here and actually click on our recipe to see how accurate we are. So if we come over here to the original recipe, it's going to give you the nutrition information at the bottom. Most recipes at this point do this. So again, this is gonna be a really easy way for you to cross-check the two. So this one says, serving size is about 1 cup of 4 servings. Calories on this, it says 130, so we're pretty spot on there with 124. Fat is about 7 grams. Carbs are about 17. Sugar's 14. Sodium's like 62. Fiber's 2, and protein's 1.5. So that's what the Minimalist Baker website has listed as this. So then we go over to MyFitnessPal and we look over here. It's gonna give you the nutrition facts when you actually click on the recipe. So we've got total fat 7, perfect, we're pretty spot on there. 16 grams of carbs, awesome, about 15 grams of sugar, 1 gram of fiber, perfect, and then 1 gram of protein. So that is all pretty accurate. And that's how to make a recipe in MyFitnessPal. It's not that hard. Okay, let me see here. This recipe also has a shit ton of vitamin A and vitamin C in it, so get your micronutrient on. Cool. I'm gonna have a bite of it now. Now that I've made it, I wanna eat it. Oh. The original show title, Caitlin Eats.
Bomb.
Yeah, if we do that pool party, I'll make this. And then everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's vegan?
Go.
Yep, it's fruit. The fuck else is this gonna be?